Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're totally cracking open the black box of drain cleaning costs. We're specifically looking at data from the Chicago suburbs to help you understand exactly what you're paying for when the plumbing acts up. I mean, if you're a homeowner, you already know that dealing with home maintenance can feel like a complete financial guessing game. But you know what? It really doesn't have to be. We're going to break down the exact factors that drive these invoices, turning what is usually a super stressful mystery into a completely predictable equation. It is incredibly frustrating to deal with a backed up sink, isn't it? You're literally standing in a puddle of water, you just want it fixed right now, and then you hear the price. And honestly, it's even more stressful when you have absolutely no idea why the pricing is so unpredictable. I mean, you might hear that your neighbor down the street paid a quick $150 to get their shower draining again, but when the technician looks at your kitchen sink, suddenly you're staring at an estimate for $600 or more. Like, no way, right? Why the massive gap? Are you being overcharged? Well, today we're diving into the hard data to find out exactly why that discrepancy exists and, more importantly, how you can navigate it. All right, let's jump straight into section 1, the baseline. Let's start by satisfying that immediate curiosity, right? Based on local plumbing providers, there are basically three main price buckets you can realistically expect. In that first tier, the $150 to $300 range, we're looking at minor clogs. These are usually resolved with just routine cable snaking. Step up to the $300 to $600 range, and you hit your moderate to difficult blockages. We're talking things like stubborn grease buildups or early tree root intrusions. Finally, that $600 plus category, that's reserved for the severe backups, deep mainline challenges, and jobs that literally demand advanced equipment, like hydrojetting and high-tech camera inspections. So the absolutely crucial point here is this: a slow drain is just a symptom. Because homes, especially in areas with older infrastructure like the Chicago suburbs, can have older plumbing systems mixed with varying seasonal usage patterns. A symptom that looks identical on the surface can require wildly different solutions. Actually, think of it this way. Your neighbor's slow drain might just be a clump of hair right near the surface, while your identical-looking slow drain might be a massive tree root invasion 50 feet underground. Same symptom, completely different disease. Moving right along to section 2, the variables. So what specific physical factors actually dictate those price tiers? Because plumbers don't just pull these prices out of thin air, I promise. They look at 4 distinct variables. Step 1 is the location and depth of the clog. Step 2 is the cause and severity. Step 3 is the cleaning method required. And step 4 is whether a camera inspection is needed to diagnose the issue properly. Let's break each of these down so you know exactly what the professionals are looking for when they show up at your door. Okay, variable number 1 is location. Think about your kitchen sink trap or a standard bathroom drain. These are called branch lines, and they are incredibly easy to access. Easier access means less labor time, which equals a cheaper bill. Simple, right? But if the blockage is way deep down in your main sewer line, it inherently requires a lot more manual labor and harder to reach access points. It pulls the technician completely away from those easy surface-level pipes. So deeper depth just equals higher cost. The second variable is the severity and actual makeup of the clog itself. Fresh debris, like a dropped foreign object or a simple food clog, flushes out super quickly and easily. But fighting through thick, solidified grease, hardened mineral scale, or tree roots that have basically decided your pipes are an all-you-can-eat buffet, yeah, that requires serious time, serious physical effort, and much heavier machinery. The harder the clog fights back, the higher the labor and equipment costs rise. Which brings us to the third variable, the method used. Now, a basic cleanout uses a standard snaking cable to punch a hole through the clog, which honestly usually just treats the symptom. But if the technician needs to use hydrojetting, which is an advanced method using high-pressure water to essentially scour the inside of your pipes clean, well, the game changes. That requires highly specialized, expensive equipment. Upgrading from a simple snake to a hydrojet to actually cure the underlying disease of your pipe will naturally bump up your price tier. It's a real game changer, but it costs more. Finally, variable number 4, the camera inspection. If your home's plumbing symptoms suggest some kind of structural damage, or, if you've been dealing with repeated backups in the exact same spot, a technician might need to send a camera down the line. Adding a camera inspection completely eliminates the guesswork. It tells you exactly what is wrong and exactly where it is. Utilizing that kind of diagnostic tech does increase the overall bill, for sure, but it's an upfront cost that literally buys you total accuracy.
All right, let's look at section 3, hidden factors.
Because beyond the plumbing itself, there are a few external logistical hurdles that can inflate your invoice before the tools even come out of the truck. Labor and trip timing heavily influence cost. Requesting a same-day emergency service on, say, a holiday weekend is always going to carry a premium over a scheduled Tuesday afternoon visit. Furthermore, yard conditions matter immensely. If your plumbing cleanout is buried under heavy landscaping, or if the technician has to spend an hour just trying to locate and dig out an inaccessible access point, well, that's extra billable labor that drives up the final cost.
You also have to carefully consider the scope of the work you're actually authorizing. This is such a vital question to ask. Are you paying just to clear the immediate blockage today, or are you paying to address the root cause? Some quotes only cover getting the water flowing for right now. If the technician finds recurring structural buildup patterns, or worse, a broken pipe, fixing those underlying concerns is going to trigger completely separate pricing recommendations. So always know what your initial fee actually covers. Which brings us right into Section 4, the homeowner's playbook.
So, how do you protect yourself from all this? Simple. By asking these 4 targeted questions right at the start, you force transparent answers and completely eliminate any billing surprises. Ask them exactly where they think the clog is. Is it a branch or the main? Ask them their planned method. Are we snaking or jetting today? Clarify if the camera inspection is bundled into the quote or if it's an extra add-on fee. And importantly, ask about diagnostic fees. Like if they try to snake it and it fails, do you still pay for that failed attempt before they switch to the hydrojet? Pinning down these answers puts you completely in control of the transaction.
When you anchor the cost this way, the whole value proposition shifts dramatically, doesn't it? A $15 quick fix treats the symptom today, sure. But if you have roots in your line, it practically guarantees you're going to be making another $50 call in 3 months. On the other hand, a $600 plus investment definitely hurts more upfront, but it utilizes cameras and jetting for a lasting solution. When you weigh that against the ongoing headache of repeatedly paying for the exact same recurring issue, the higher tier service often becomes the most economical choice.
It really all comes down to this. Getting the right diagnosis, rather than simply clearing the symptom, can literally be the difference between a one-off service and having your plumber on speed dial for repeated calls. Empowering yourself with that diagnosis, demanding to see the camera footage, and understanding the variables, that is the absolute best way to protect your home and your wallet in the long run. So the next time your drain starts backing up, don't panic. Just use this playbook. Understand the variables we talked about, ask the right questions, and most importantly, ask yourself what kind of solution you're truly buying. Are you paying for a temporary Band-Aid, or are you investing in the long-term health of your home? Knowing the difference is exactly what makes you an empowered homeowner. Thanks so much for joining us on this explainer, and we will see you next time.